Morning. Now, we didn't video it last night, but there are some mental thunderstorms that keep rolling across this region, and it seems to almost be constant. A bit similar to when we're staying just outside Yellowstone waiting for it to quiet down. The impossible dream. Anyway, not because of that, but because we had a little chat and we realised we mill around quite a lot, and maybe it's best just to hit the road and head south to our next destination, which is maybe a couple of days, maybe 3 days away, which is the Arches National Park in Utah. So according to our sat nav, it's about 11 to 13 hours drive. For us that'll probably be 15 to 16 because we drive so slowly, and en route we can pick up some showers because we're feeling absolutely disgusting at this point, and get some provisions and get some fuel because we've only got half a tank left out of our 2 tanks and nothing in our 20-litre jerry can. So that's our plan. And I think it's a good plan because I really fancy a shower. Also, I would quite like to get some cell phone coverage. We never seem to have it in these mountains, just so I can contact the folks back home, and I think Nikki wants to do the same. So, as much as this place is really, really beautiful, and it would have been really nice to get the kayak out and do some fishing, I think it's probably best for us to move on. Also, we've seen a lot of mountains. Let's see what Utah has to offer, because we're heading towards Salt Lake City, and that should be quite cool.
Just arrived in the Tetons and it is absolutely breathtaking, and we were a little bit worried when we left Canada that we kind of ran out of parks, maybe there wouldn't be as many, but they just keep coming, don't they?
Yes, they do, and it's beautiful. We didn't even know this was here. It's just south of Yellowstone. We heard about it, and as we were like leaving the forestry area, we're standing south of Yellowstone. We're like, oh, it's the Tetons.
But check out those mountains, look at that. Joel just got me good. I was dying for the loo for about an hour, and finally found the toilet, went in, and I heard a knock at the door, and I'm like, what is this? He's like, ma'am, do you have a park pass for that toilet? I was like, oh shit, where is the pass? Oh no, I was like, it's in the van. Wind up.
She even came out as well, like hands up.
God. We may have just found the most perfect campsite. So we're outside a little town called Jackson, which is still in the Tetons, or Tetons. And we actually found this through the tourist information guys and also iOverlander. Now on the iOverlander app, someone had written, if you want to feel like Julie Andrews, this is a spot. And I can totally see why. Look at this.
What happened was we got down the hill back to our original spot and someone's taken it. So we're now racing up the hill to try and find another spot. Now luckily we bumped into a ranger who had pulled into a camping spot, and he said yes, it is free, but he recommends if they're free we go right to the top of the summit where there's 2 really cool campgrounds up there, and he says if they're taken and we come back down he'll give us the spot that he's targeted. So that's really sound. Trouble is, it is really, really hot and Rex keeps overheating. I don't know how we're going to deal with deserts.
That's next as well.
That is next, yeah. Utah. And we've overheated again, and this time we've had to turn the engine off because it was just a little bit too hot. So we're going to have to wait 20 minutes for it to chill out, and then we'll keep going. But luckily, as Nick's just said, we're blocking the road so no one can go past us. Yes.
How bad is it?
We've got a patch repair on our header tank, and that started pissing out loads of water. And as you can see, all our coolant is on the ground. which is not great news. But what we can do, I'm hoping, is just let it cool down, top it up with coolant, and we've got here, and take it easy for the last leg of this. But we've just had 2 ATVs go by, and I'm hoping they're not campers. Otherwise we've just lost our spot. Three ATVs go by. Today was supposed to be a quick hour up the road into the mountains, find ourselves a nice campsite so we can spend a couple of days here and catch up on some YouTube videos for you. Because of Rex, it took us about 4 hours, and also we got a little bit lost. But what was it, 4 times he overheated, and on the last time it was really bad. I thought we had cracked the head, and trying to get new heads for those things is a bloody nightmare. So anyway, we're here. We've got this really nice little camp spot, as you can see, and we've got it all to ourselves, which is perfect. The only thing we don't have is an amazing view of the Teton mountains over there, because that spot is taken up by someone else. Now we're hoping they're going to move on tomorrow morning, so we're going to nip up the hill and steal that then. But to show you what it's like, we're going to go and see sunset up there right now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Look at that.
This has probably been one of the best sunsets of our lives, hasn't it? Worth all the breakdowns, isn't it?
How many was it?
4.
4. This part of Vanlife.
Holy shit, there it is.
This part of Vanlife absolutely sucks. Where?
it.
Oh my god, guys! I literally. There's another one on the ceiling. There is another one on. Ah!
No.
Sorry. We have been, and it's such a beautiful place, but we have been absolutely under siege by flies, mosquitoes, moths, and I've got like big, massive.
It didn't just get you, did it?
No, big, massive, swollen red things of blisters from bites. There's another one, and it's just freaking insane. And that is one of the downsides to living in a van at the moment. And otherwise it's amazing and we love it, but oh my god, like, it's just relentless. Absolutely.
That is a freaking pterodactyl. Look at it.
We are out on a hike and we're hiking towards a canyon, and the backdrop is just beauts. Don't know if you guys can see, but that's literally not even the half of it. So the other point, we've got loads of mountains, and we're heading down towards a well.
We don't actually need water, but
No.
we thought, you know, something to do. We had a bit of a bad night last night, so we just about had signal on our cell phone to do some research on Rex. And recently, I'm not sure if we said, we've got white smoke that's been coming out the back. Now that is usually water vapour more often than not, and on start up that's kind of normal because it's like condensation in the exhaust and so on and so forth. But we've got a thin layer of white smoke that's coming out when we're just normal driving, and it's not a good sign. And I did a bit of research, and it could be a cracked head, which is actually quite bad news depending on how bad the crack is and how long it's been letting water into the engine for. So, you know, done like anyone does who isn't a mechanic but is trying to sort out their vehicle. I've asked a few people what they think. I've asked that guy Butch, who's from Abbotsford in Canada, who did some work on Rex before, and hopefully they can get back and give me some ideas. But it's
Tricky, isn't it?
It's turning into a bit of a bummer. Like, we didn't sleep until about 4 or half 4 yesterday, because Rex is really beginning to bum us out. does kind of feel like in this place you can't get anything done unless it's really early in the morning or shortly before sunset. And it's not because of the heat, it's because there are so many bitey flies around, you just can't do anything in the daytimes. I mean, they swarm the place. Right, so we've had the day to reach out to people and we've had the day to think ourselves, and we do want to get Rex fixed. We're just a little bit bummed out.
Yeah, understandably, I think, but...
So you've been trying to get hold of mechanics today, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, signal isn't great on this mountain. I did try one, and the second time that I called back, because he couldn't hear me, the second time I called back, he ended up hanging up on me.
So he shan't have our business.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, I got talking to the guy up top there. He's got a really good spot, and he's been overlanding for about 18 months now. And he was here last year for 2 weeks, and he got warned not to go to Jackson for any auto repairs. And he had a problem with his car, and he did go to Jackson. And the quote he got was astronomical. And he said the reason why is because it's the tourist circuit. It's a it's a ski resort when it snows, and it's a hiking resort when it's summer like this, so that they just screw over tourists. So what he's recommended is going to one of the nearby towns, but he also said the nearest big city is Idaho City, which is about 3 hours away for us. And I've been trying all day to get responses from people on various Delica forums about Delica mechanics, and I'm having no joy. So we're going to chance it.
Yeah, we're just going to have to trust that someone can...
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a Delica mechanic like you were saying. It can be, it could just be a good mechanic.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a lot easier to get parts in a city, or at least a lot easier to get them shipped there.
So what that does mean is that we're going to be Walmarting it for a couple of days. I tell you, it's all glamour here, all glamour.
It's like Thunder Bay all over again, isn't it?
I think that's what happens. We just do this thing every month where we have to town it and see a garage.
Yeah.
Basically, it's part of the trip, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So we can't do much at the minute because it's Friday, and we're going to try and call some people tomorrow, but it might not be open. Anyway, we're going to stay on this mountain until Sunday, and tomorrow we get that good spot because the guy's leaving and he said we can have it, which is great. And on Sunday we're going to go most of the way to Idaho Falls, find a nice little barely off the road just in case we break down off the beaten path spot.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be Walmarting.
It'll
Yay.
be fine. So hopefully we get the next few days out of the way and we've got fully working rigs.
Yeah.
We can then head down to, where's next? Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll catch up with you guys later. See ya.
The saga continues. Today it's the solars. What's going on?
Oh, the solars have failed, or something between the solar and the charge controller has failed. And I think it is these. Now I got these from Amazon and they are rubbish. And you buy cheap, you have to buy more than once. So if anyone sees anything that looks like this on Amazon, which is a thermal cut-off switch or a reset fuse, don't buy it. And the thing is, we didn't even need it over there. I only just put it in there because it has a switch and it was the quickest thing. So luckily we've bumped in, the guys that were on top of the hill yesterday have just given me a spare that I may be able to work with. It's just a connector. But yeah, it's just, everything seems to break.
Just need to backtrack a little bit. You said if you buy cheap, you have to buy again. Does that count for my skincare as well? So you finally come around to that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't count for skincare. Yeah.
It's worth a try.
The thing is, there's buying cheap and then there's buying bulk, and we can't fit a year's worth of skincare products.
So what you guys don't know is that I've got a whole white tray dedicated to creams and stuff, and toiletries, which you need, a woman on the road, you need that, don't you? And in fact, I think you've got a little bit in there as well.
I don't have any skincare stuff.
He's actually got Clinique for Men. going to tell you different, but he has.
She's a liar. She's a dirty liar.
No.
Look, I'm trying to fix the
Sorry,
electrics.
back to the solos. Back to the...
So, like, we've been trying to stay put somewhere for the last, like, month to actually catch up with our videos on you guys, because we're in the USA right now, obviously, and our last video, as at right now, is the one where we've just got to Calgary. So, every time we try and sit down and just focus on the video, something happens. Today, it's the solas. Yesterday, it was Rex breaking down. The day before, it's because we got moved on from somewhere else. It's just a nightmare.
We wouldn't have it any other way, though, would we?
Yes,
well,
we would.
We always apart from the breakages. But nothing to add to that? No.
No. I'm just going to crack on with this, try and get it.